Financial prosperity is undoubtedly one of the most admired characteristics of the Jewish people. Throughout history, they have stood out for their incredible ability to generate income, accumulate wealth, and undertake business wherever they are. Despite facing serious challenges, such as prejudice and persecution, Jews have continued to prosper financially, even in extremely adverse contexts. An impressive fact is that although they represent only 0.2% of the world's population, studies indicate that a significant part of global wealth is under Jewish management. We've already explored inspiring stories of Jews who have achieved great success in various fields. Notable examples include Gary Vaynerchuk, Joseph Safra, Ronnie Meisler, founder, Roberto Justus, George Soros, Alexandre Ostrovsky, founder of Multilaser, Gene Simmons, Marcio Bambam, Mark Zuckerberg, Howard Schultz, Larry Ellison, and Samuel Klein. Among the most famous billionaires are Sheldon Adelson, Michael Bloomberg, and the creators of Google, Sergey Brin and Larry Page. We can't forget Silvio Santos, one of Brazil's most admired entrepreneurs, who also recognized and valued his Jewish faith. These stories arouse a lot of curiosity about how the Jewish mentality works and what the secret is behind so much prosperity. After all, what makes them different? In order to answer this question, various studies have been conducted into Jewish practices, values, and philosophy of life. In this video, we will explore in depth a series of characteristics, habits, and beliefs that explain the secrets behind Jewish prosperity. Get ready to discover valuable lessons that can inspire and transform your outlook on success and finances. Let's get started. Number 1. Trade and entrepreneurship. One of the secrets of Jewish success lies in their strong culture of entrepreneurship. For a long time, it has been common for Jewish families to have their own businesses, especially in commerce. This shows that they have a natural tendency to set up companies and run their own projects. If we look at the examples we've already discussed, we see that both Jews who built their wealth from scratch and those who inherited businesses have achieved success with their own ventures, such as stores, law firms, banks, and construction companies. From an early age, Jews learn to take charge of their own future, mainly through entrepreneurship. They are taught that success depends solely on their efforts and that they need to face challenges head-on. This idea of independence and personal responsibility begins in childhood, when children learn that their actions have consequences and that achieving something great depends on dedication and hard work. But to start a business, you often need startup money. So how do they get this capital? To understand this, let's move on to the next point. Number 2, work to learn, not just for the money. Another important point in Jewish culture is the constant search for learning. Often Jews don't have the money to start their own business or need to work to support themselves for a while. But for them, the job goes beyond the salary. It's seen as a chance to acquire new skills. The knowledge they gain on the job is worth even more than the money they receive, as it expands their possibilities for the future and prepares them to run their own businesses. An example of this is Sasha Vaynerchuk, Gary Vaynerchuk's father. He began his journey by working for 5 years in an uncle's liquor store in New York. During this time, Sasha learned all about the business and also saved some money. As a result, he was able to open his own store in New Jersey. Years later, that store became a huge success. Another inspiring example is Howard Schultz, the man responsible for transforming Starbucks into the giant we know today. Before becoming an entrepreneur, he worked as an employee at Starbucks, learning about the market and the business. Later, when he decided to open his own coffee shop, he accumulated capital and ended up buying Starbucks, transforming the chain of small stores into the world's largest coffee shop. These examples show that for them, every job is a chance to learn something new, which is fundamental to achieving success in the future. If you're enjoying this content so far, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. I'm preparing a series of videos that will transform your financial life, and you can't miss them. Number 3, economics, and financial planning. From an early age, Jews learned to handle money well. As well as receiving a solid financial education, they cultivate the habit of saving around 20% of what they earn. This behavior has historical roots, as the Jewish people often faced the need to move and overcome challenges such as prejudice and persecution. Saving is not only a way of preparing for the unexpected, but also of guaranteeing a better future and often investing in setting up a business of their own. A striking example is that of Samuel Klein, founder of Casas Bahia. He arrived in Brazil as a peddler, selling products door to door, and with constant savings and effort, he expanded his range of goods until he opened his own store. Years later, he transformed Casas Bahia into one of the largest retail chains in the country. Another example is Silvio Santos. He started out as a street vendor, selling small items on the streets. Over time, he diversified his activities, such as selling drinks and food, and then gained a foothold in the entertainment market, creating TV shows and Baú da Felicidade. This entire empire was built with the savings from a lifetime of hard work, demonstrating that saving and investing are fundamental pillars for achieving success. There is also a strong investment culture in the Jewish community. They tend to invest with a focus on security and stability, a behavior that has marked the trajectories of the Safra family in Brazil and the Rothschild family worldwide, as well as names like investor George Soros. Living within one's means is a golden rule. Spending is only done when necessary or when it doesn't jeopardize the family's long-term goals. Only then do they consider more superfluous expenses. An important exception to this rule of financial control is spending on education. For Jews, investing in education, whether for children or adults, is not considered an expense, but an essential investment. This priority reflects the view that education is a powerful tool for building a better future, both personally and professionally. Number 4, always do your best. A defining characteristic of Jewish culture is the dedication to excellence in everything they do. No matter what the task, simple or complex, Jews have a strong commitment to quality. This standard of always doing the best is applied in any situation, even in seemingly small activities. For example, Silvio Santos, who started out as a street vendor, demonstrated this commitment from an early age. Even though he sold cheap items to a diverse public, he made a point of offering the best service and products, which was essential for the success he later achieved. As well as striving to do their best, Jews have a habit of specializing deeply in what they do. This vision is often inspired by teachings from the Bible, such as the passage from Proverbs 22:29, which exalts skill and well-done work. To achieve this excellence, Jews value discipline and long-term thinking. They understand that there is no victory without effort and that patience is essential. Becoming a specialist or achieving a high standard of quality requires constant work, done day after day, with persistence and attention to detail. It is this mentality that turns routine actions into great achievements over time. The pursuit of excellence is also reflected in the global impact of the Jewish people. Despite representing just 0.2% of the world's population, they have won 152 of the 700 Nobel Prizes awarded to date. This illustrates how discipline, dedication, and the pursuit of perfection can lead to extraordinary results, even in a challenging environment. These examples show that excellence is not an unattainable goal, but the fruit of continuous effort and commitment to the best you can offer. Number 5, collective thinking. One of the strongest characteristics of the Jewish people is their sense of collectivity. No matter where they are, Jews tend to form communities that function as mutual support networks. This togetherness is reflected in the famous saying, "One Jew helps another." They not only do business with each other, but also strive to open doors for those who need help, creating a cooperative spirit based on the idea that individual success also strengthens the group. This principle is deeply rooted in two concepts from Jewish culture, tzedakah and charity. Tzedakah, translated as social justice, is a moral obligation to help those in need. The highest form of this is to teach a person skills to help themselves in the future, rather than just offering momentary help. This concept is in line with the idea that each individual is responsible for building their own path, but can count on initial support to get started. Charity, on the other hand, is more aimed at those facing extreme difficulties, offering immediate and essential help. An example of this mutual support can be found in the story of Roberto Justus, told in his book Building a Life. He tells how one of his first big advertising contracts came about thanks to the friendship between his family and the Brett family, both Jewish. Andre Brett, then owner of Villa Romana, offered Justus the chance to work with the international brand Calvin Klein, which was being brought to Brazil. This contract was decisive for Justus' success in the world of advertising. Curiously, the designer Calvin Klein also has Jewish origins, reinforcing the community's connection. This sense of collectivity goes beyond personal relationships. It is common for Jews to donate part of their income to benefit their communities, both in the cities where they live and in Israel. These contributions are not just seen as generosity, but as a way of repaying the success they have achieved and dignifying the money they have earned. This explains the existence of many works and institutions maintained by Jews to support their communities and social causes. This model of unity is also reminiscent of the mastermind concept described by Napoleon Hill, the idea that minds working together towards a common goal achieve far greater results than they could on their own. This philosophy is part of the DNA of Jewish communities and is also present in family nuclei. In Jewish families, members often unite around a common goal, often related to the family business. These ventures are often passed down from generation to generation. For example, David Vaynerchuk worked for years in the family liquor store before gaining worldwide recognition. Similarly, brothers Joseph, Edmund, and Moise Safra grew up working together in the family business, learning from their father and expanding the family fortune. This spirit of cooperation and collective vision is not only a pillar of success, but also a source of resilience, allowing Jewish communities and families to thrive and adapt to challenges, always with a focus on the common good and the continuity of their traditions. Number 6, humility to learn and accept criticism. One of the most valuable characteristics in Jewish culture is the humility to learn from others, especially those with more experience. Jews believe that there is always something to learn from those who have already trodden successful paths or who have more experience. This mentality is rooted in the idea that it is important to have someone to guide you and show you what is right. Learning is built on two fundamental foundations: obedience and humility. These qualities are essential for maintaining Jewish traditions, which have been passed down through the generations for thousands of years. As well as seeking advice and knowledge from those with more experience, Jews also learn to take criticism and rebuke positively, seeing it as an opportunity to improve. For them, dealing with criticism is part of a disciplined process of personal and professional growth. This attitude involves controlling the ego and avoiding being dazzled by one's own achievements. It's a practice that allows you to listen to advice and constructive criticism without resentment, keeping your focus on the bigger goal, to be better and better at what you do. This mentality not only strengthens community ties, but also creates a culture of continuous learning and self-development. The ability to accept reprimands and learn from them is not seen as a weakness, but as an essential strength for those who seek excellence and constant evolution. This view, deeply rooted in Jewish culture, helps its members to remain open to new ideas and experiences, as well as ensuring that fundamental knowledge and values are preserved and enhanced over time. Number 7, treasure your reputation. In Jewish culture, reputation is just as important as a person's achievements. For them, one's name is synonymous with credibility, and taking care of it is an absolute priority. The way a person is perceived by society not only reflects who they are, but also determines how they will be treated and the opportunities they will find in the future. That's why preserving a good reputation is seen as essential. Every action, decision, and relationship is guided by the concern to keep the name associated with qualities such as trust, integrity, and excellence. This care goes beyond the individual. It also reflects on the group or community that the person represents. The idea is clear. When your name is associated with credibility, doors open naturally and success becomes a consequence. That's why Jews are encouraged to always act with ethics, respect, and quality in everything they do. After all, a good name is considered one of the greatest assets that anyone can build over the course of a lifetime. Number 8. The prosperity triangle. Many believe that the success of the Jewish people is the result of divine predestination or their lineage as descendants of Abraham. However, according to rabbi and entrepreneur Dor Leon Attar, the real secret lies in a practical structure called the prosperity triangle. This concept, described in the book The Secret of Jewish Prosperity, points to 3 essential pillars for success: emotional and physical balance, financial balance, and living with purpose. First pillar, emotional and physical balance. The first pillar highlights the importance of controlling emotions. Feelings such as lust, envy, anger, and fear can get in the way of financial prosperity. For example, lust is the desire to have everything immediately, such as luxury cars or expensive clothes. This impulsive consumption can jeopardize bigger plans for the future. Envy is wanting what others have, which can lead to impulsive and unnecessary spending. Anger results in rash decisions, often with negative consequences. Fear can paralyze and prevent opportunities from being seized. Fear of failure or judgment often prevents important actions from being taken. As well as balancing your emotions, you need to take care of your body. Physical health is the basis for implementing any plan. Without energy or vitality, you can't achieve great goals. That's why maintaining healthy habits and looking after your health is just as important as emotional balance. Second pillar, financial balance. Financial balance is the second essential point of the triangle. It emphasizes responsible control of money, with practices such as saving regularly, investing wisely, and always keeping a reserve for emergencies. This pillar is not just about accumulating wealth, but ensuring that money is used strategically, supporting plans and protecting against unforeseen events. Third pillar, living with purpose. The third pillar is living with a purpose, known in Jewish culture as tikkun. From an early age, Jews are taught to seek their mission on earth. This purpose is what gives life meaning and maintains focus even in the face of adversity. Working towards a higher goal not only brings personal fulfillment, but also serves as a guide for making more assertive decisions. Purpose is sustained by values such as discipline, planning, humility, economy, and resilience. These habits help turn difficulties into opportunities, and together with faith, provide extra strength to overcome challenges. The prosperity triangle as inspiration. These 3 pillars, emotional and physical balance, financial balance, and purpose, have been consolidated based on studies and reports by experts such as Audrey Bernacki, Dr. Leon Attar, and Leah Albab. They explain why Jews have been an example of success throughout history and show how these principles can be applied by anyone seeking prosperity. If you've made it this far in the video, comment, "I stayed until the end." When I see that comment, I'll leave a little heart, because I'll know you're on the right path to becoming a prosperous person. And now, on your screen, there's an incredible video I've prepared especially for you. It complements the video you've just watched. Click on it and watch it now. See you soon.